the withdrawal from the Rome Statute on the ICC, Your Honor, has effectively or will effectively withdraw further
Trust foreigners to rule on crimes more than the Supreme Court and our lower courts?
Your Honor, if there is an inability to bring cases before the
Yes,
courts,
is
Your
there
Honor,
an inability? We go around in circles. What is the situation now? Is there an inability of our trial courts? You tell us, because we are here in the Supreme Court.
The courts are
Sumuka,
open.
is there inability of our trial courts to attend to human rights cases?
there is no inability.
No inability. Is there an unwillingness of our courts to attend to human rights cases?
Not with the courts, Your Honor.
Not with the courts. So, again, what is the right that was violated? What is the prerogative that was violated? As a matter of fact, there is reverse complementarity in 9851. Is that not correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where is it found? Chapter 8, Section 17. Correct? In the interest of justice, the relevant Philippine authorities may dispense with investigation or prosecution and give it to another court or an international tribunal. Correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, isn't this unconstitutional by itself?
I would,
Crespo versus Mogul, whenever a trial court already has jurisdiction, it maintains that jurisdiction. Here, it appears to say, walang kwenta pag Filipino court. An American serviceman is caught committing a crime. If there is a court in the United States already seized of that, our Philippine courts must give way according to this. Correct?
that's correct, Your Honor.
Reverse complementarity. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, in other words, there is here a statement that our judiciary is second class to the International Tribunal and to other courts.
I wouldn't want to speculate on that, Your Honor.
Because it is not, correct?
Yes, Your
Because
Honor.
your judiciary can be able, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can be enabled, correct?
That's correct,
Can
Your Honor.
improve and become more efficient, correct?
That's
And
correct.
the
Your Honor.
better that it will become more efficient so that we will have to rely on ourselves, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's self-determination, correct?
That's correct.
That
Your
is sovereignty, correct?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. And related, there is preliminary examination ongoing. It cannot be stopped by the withdrawal, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. It
So,
cannot be stopped.
again, what is the actual case?
Well, we are banking ourselves on the transcendental importance, Your Honor, of, again,
Wait,
one...
excuse me. Just because there is something of transcendental interest, the court must step in. Isn't it the doctrine that transcendental interest is only an exception on standing, but not on the requirement of actual controversy?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes. So again, we go back. What is the actual controversy?
The actual controversy here, Your Honor, is that the right to an effective remedy is deprived
Again,
from
which
victims.
effective remedy? I have cited the laws. I have cited that our courts are functional. I have cited that this Supreme Court has in fact opened up to this petition.
Correct, mga kababayan. Effective remedy daw, mga karibin natin. Kung ibig sabihin, remedyoan nila. Ha? Para maging ma-push agad nila, mga kababayan, yung gusto nila, di ba? Ha? Para mapatupad nila yung kanilang kagustuhan, remedyohan nila. Hindi na nila kailangan pa ng Supreme Court, ICC na lang, ganun ba? Tama itong sinasabi dito. Palapakan po natin si Justice Marvick Leonen. Napakaganda itong kanyang mga sinasabi. Ha? Ito, pakinggan po natin pa.
And many petitions, in fact, the last petition was even on same-sex marriage. Correct? And the petition before that we heard was on, I think, tokhang and double barrel, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's functioning. What remedies have been curtailed?
At the moment, Your Honor, we are not talking about just the courts, Your Honor. At the moment, victims of human rights violations, particularly those covered under...
You mean the International Criminal Court will come here and help
No,
the
Your,
victims?
no, Your Honor. But again, it goes into that principle of complementarity, Your Honor. That if there is no effective remedy being given because the victims are
I'm sorry, but
unable to file
complementarity in
cases...
Article 17 of the Rome Statute says unwillingness and inability, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Inability means a substantial degradation of the judicial authorities within the country involved such that no hearing can be heard impartially, independently, correct?
That's correct.
Are you now claiming that our courts are unable to receive cases?
It is able to receive cases, Your Honor. But again, in terms of
Are you now
investigation
claiming
of
that
these
the
cases, Your Honor,
judiciary, the entire judiciary, is unwilling to address cases that will be filed or have been filed involving the crime that you're mentioning, widespread or systematic willful killing?
that is
So ayan na mga kababayan, no? Wala nang kaso dito si former President Duterte, dalhin nyo pa sa dahig. So ngayon, si Senator Bato de la Rosa, wala nang kaso dito, dalhin nyo pa sa dahig. Yan po yung sinasabi dyan mga kababayan, na unwilling daw, unwilling ba yung korte natin mga kababayan na mag-take ng ganyang mga kaso? Hindi naman Ha? Lahat ng kaso tinatanggap po ng Supreme Court, mga kababayan. Kaso nga lang, walang nagkaso kay former President at kay Senator Bato dito sa Pilipinas. Bagkus ay dinala pa nila sa ICC. Mga ugo kayo.
It's not our position, Your Honor.
Yes, so again, what is the actual controversy?
Again, Your Honor, the actual controversy for the petitioners in this case is that the fact that since the victims are unable to file cases not because of the unwillingness or inability of the courts, but for example, there is no
But you just said
proper
that
investigation.
the
Your
Rome
Honor.
statute requires complementarity.
Yes, Your
We should
Honor.
clarify that. It doesn't mean that the cases will go side by side,
It
correct?
doesn't mean, Your
It
Honor.
means that it's like exhaustion of remedies, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
And if there is inability to investigate killings that are happening with regard to the drug war, for
So
example,
there
Your
is
Honor,
inability now.
then it is our position that there is inability, Your Honor, with regard to the investigation and
You are
prosecution of
making a
these
factual
cases.
claim, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, and you want us to agree with your factual claim on the basis of what?
Your Honor, our position is
I
not.
mean, we are designed as a court to stay in a high bench,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay? To move ourselves 20 steps backwards and allow the parties to present evidence so that personal anecdotal references will not be what we will base our judgment on, but on the evidence and the proof that is created, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. So, again, isn't this a factual question?
The actual case here, Your Honor, is the lack of concurrence with regard to the withdrawal of.
No, I thought you said it was the degradation of the remedies to human rights victims.
That is the effect, Your Honor. Your
The
Honor.
effect. Okay, so the actual case is
Is the lack of the 2/3 concurrence in the
you
withdrawal.
change your
Your Honor.
theory.
No, Your Honor. It is all connected, Your Honor.
Yes, so it is a public right, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, and you are not a senator.
I am not a senator, Your
So
Honor.
what is your standing to raise that?
Your Honor, as a citizen of the Republic of the Philippines, Your Honor, again, the withdrawal, the unilateral withdrawal without the concurrence of the Senate, Your Honor, effectively deprives me of that effective remedy, Your Honor.
The president initiates and writes the content. Therefore, the president initiates the crafting and writes the content of that instrument which has the effect of law, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes. The effect of treaty on domestic legislation, I think we need to qualify it a bit in order to be able to see how it relates to domestic law. Okay.
Very well, Your Honor.
International law has traditionally affected the relationships of two states, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Insofar as the subject matter of international law, especially of treaties before, it was only between state to state, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor, as far as classical
Yes,
international
and
is concerned.
therefore, whenever there is a treaty under the old conditions, it only affects the roles of the representatives of the state vis-a-vis another state, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, as to the procedure. Your
And
Honor.
of course, there is a possibility that the treaty will also affect the relationship of the citizen of another country sojourning or passing through the other state. Is that not correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
In which case, therefore, that treaty has effect only because it commits the host state to the other state as to how it will treat the nationals from the other state. Is that not correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. The third situation is when a treaty, like a human rights treaty, has the effect of committing a state with respect to its behavior, with respect to its own citizens. Is that not correct?
Agree, Your Honor.
Yes. Tax treaties, are they of the first, the second, or the